Whoa. Dad, I think moles live in there.
After spending one afternoon with Nicholas Nelson,
There's a gopher hole in there.
there's no question.
Where is it?
He's a high-energy,
Yeah, he's got some grasshoppers here.
critter-chasing,
Oh.
big sister bothering,
You want me to put them on you? Here.
typical
Oh.
9-year-old boy.
No, I just fell.
Yet, in many ways, Nick is wise beyond his years.
He definitely sees the world, not through the eyes of a 9-year-old, more like a 45-year-old.
I can walk still, but it's kind of harder because I can't stand that long.
What forced Nick to grow up so quickly is the syndrome that keeps him from walking like most other kids, a syndrome his family didn't know about until his birth.
Once they got him into the nursery and started giving him his bath, they realized that he couldn't straighten his legs. And when they started looking at it, they realized he was completely webbed behind the back of his legs.
And what was really frustrating is, although we knew there were some issues, there was nobody that was really able to tell us what it was.
Nick's father and doctor poured through medical books for hours before finally finding the diagnosis, popliteal pterygium syndrome.
So basically, it's this pterygium here.
The most common trait is a web on the back of the leg, something you can't just snip off because it's packed with nerves.
If we were to cut it out, it would cause paralysis.
On top of that, the back of Nick's right knee joint is basically gone. Over the years, doctors performed about 15 surgeries and used every tool possible to try and straighten his legs.
And get your pelvis really flat against the floor. There you go.
The left leg is doing better.
There you go.
The right leg is not. As a result, Nick cannot stand up straight and quickly fatigues during physical therapy. He finds it much easier to work out in a pool. Outside of the water, Nick typically uses a wheelchair to get around, but kids at Rosemount Elementary seem to notice his personality far more than his anomaly.
And you tell me how many times you've gone around.
The differences become a bit clearer during the school's mile-long fun run.
I'm gonna smoke them.
While the rest of the kids use their legs, Nick powers his way around the track with an equally exhausting hand trike.
He's very excited about doing this.
For a lap, Nick made plenty of smoke until the chain broke.
This sucks.
A tough break, but Nick would not give up.
Want me to grab your chair so you can finish in your chair?
No.
With help from his grandma, Nick crosses the finish line, broken chain and all.
I didn't really think it was a fun run.
Moments like this make him wish his legs worked, just like everyone else's.
Because I would like to run like my other friends. I'd like to jump off the monkey bars. I want to be as tall as my friends.
Such simple desires push Nick to make a choice.
I'm going to kind of miss my leg.
He wants doctors to amputate his right leg.
I just always wanted it to happen. My dream's going to come true.
Most 9-year-olds dream of Disney World. Nick's dream is something even adults can't imagine.
It's really hard because as a mom, I'm the one sitting there tickling his toes that aren't going to be there anymore.
Sometimes you just have to make hard choices in your life. And that's one of them.
Without amputation, the pain in his legs, hips, and back would get worse, and Nick would eventually be in a wheelchair for good. Now, Nick's therapy focuses on getting ready for life without a leg and with a prosthetic.
Time. Man, too many root beers or what?
It's going to be a totally different dynamic after it's gone.
Okay, stand up. No hands.
No hands, no hands.
It's important to work on Nick's balance,
No hands. And we're brutal about it.
which is why they're forcing him to stand up without using his hands. As the amputation creeps closer, Nick is unafraid, amazing to his fellow third graders.
He seems really brave to me.
But the night before surgery, the reality of what's about to happen sinks in.
It's okay.
Who could blame a 9-year-old for having second thoughts?
So we have to do the surgery. Is it too late, though? Mom, is it too late?
Nick's parents calmly explain putting it off won't make it go away.
You're going to be anxious, and you're going to be nervous, and you're going to be scared, and you're going to wonder if that's the right time, too.
As night falls, Nick's doubts fade away. sunrise will bring a new beginning. The Nelsons arrive at Gillette Children's at 6:30 in the morning.
And that means we're going to make an incision right along here.
Dr. Mark Dahl goes over the process one last time.
You know, everybody's tried as hard as we can to make this knee joint work, but the knee is too stiff and isn't working for you. So we'll get you a prosthesis, okay?
Nick, already groggy from the anesthesia, seems fine. It's his parents who are getting emotional.
You know, it's a hard decision, but it's the right decision. And I just got to keep reminding myself of that.
Oh, really?
The family says one last goodbye as Nick is taken to the operating room.
It's my baby. It's my baby, and it's my baby's leg. But I know that this is the right thing to do, the best thing for him, and this is going to give him an absolute new lease on life.
Dr. Dahl will amputate the leg at the knee. It's a fairly standard procedure that will only take about 3 hours.
I don't know.
But feels longer to those waiting.
Yeah, it's just hard.
Yeah.
Before long, though, Nick emerges.
How's it going? How do you feel right now?
It's hard to believe in just a matter of hours, his leg is gone.
I look at him and think, who are you? Where did you come from with this kind of courage and strength?
I am an ant.
After a life filled with so many adult decisions,
Need to itch your toes?
perhaps now, Nick Nelson can just be a 9-year-old boy.
Now it's time to focus on the exciting new part of his life and moving on and letting him get on with his life.